the books for Brian Greene. I knew about black holes, I knew about quantum mechanics, I knew about relativity, and the Egyptian public was very much interested in knowing what were the weird phenomena that happened in the movie. And so I thought I could do that. And actually, this video was viral. How many views did I get? Actually, 5,000 views, which is not bad. I thought that was good. You know, coming up from the hundreds, I thought that was very interesting, particularly that actually a very famous football player shared the video, and I thought, okay. So it continued on a very slow curve up until 2016, where the channel reached up to 100,000 subscribers. That was really big time. Yeah. So I started joining a team and thinking, how can we make this show much more better? How can we integrate the techniques of drama, comedy, just like the ones we have seen in a movie like Interstellar, which actually inspired people to think about these subjects? And so we came up with some interesting ideas. One of them was the sketch that starts at the beginning. We thought comedy is a very good solution, particularly to Egyptians, because we like to laugh a lot. And so we had integrated to our team someone who has been writing sketches for comedy. And this is one of the videos we did.
ازيك يا عصام؟ اديلك الشغل اللي بتحبه. لا ارجوك ايه ده يا عصام؟ انا والله لسه ما خلصتش ايه ده 5 دقايق ده بسيط جدا ده حلو 5 دقايق ايه يا فندم 5 دقايق ده ما خلصش في 5 دقايق معلش اديه لحد تاني معلش لا يا فندم انا تعبان والله العظيم 3 الف سلامة عليك يا عصام على بال ما اكلم الاسعاف خلص انت الشغل ده يا جماعه نادوا الاسعاف خلص انت تعبان انا بجد والله انا تعبان عصام بقى يا حسام انت بتبوظ الاستراكشر بتاع الشركه احنا كلنا عاملين بريدج الناس تعدي من هنا لهنا عادي جدا انت بتيجي بتلخلخ الشركه خالص انا قلت ما ينفعش بص يا عصام بص ايه ده عصام انت تعبان طب اسعاف على بال ما اسعاف تيجي خالص ده يلا لا انت قول علينا ايه بس اسعاف عصام مات خد يا مدحت انت خلص ده 5 دقايق بيخلص بسرعه ده بص 1 2 3 يلا النهارده حلقتنا عن مدح الكسل.
So this was one of the first techniques we used. We started thinking about comedy. We also did another thing, which is basically think about the character. So we're not really going to use Ahmad to be the presenter of the show. We're going to make a character. We're going to design a character with points of strength, like, basically, he's a little, or let's not call it points of strength, but basically things like being a narcissist. So he'd actually speak a lot about himself in the episodes. He'd be also very lonely. So most of the sketches, he's the same character because he cannot really find people he can identify with. And as you can see, of course, he has some naive dreams of being on a Time magazine back in the background. He's also very insecure, so he tries to show off the kind of knowledge he has. This character design has also helped us in building not only the set in which the episode is done, but also the comedy that comes out of the character. We also worked on something very, very important, and that's called the treatment of the episode. So this is one of our most popular episodes. It's basically about the effect of food on history. Now, we can make a very good video about how food affected our history, but we thought of maybe adding a twist, a little joke that people can relate to when watching the video. And what can be the joke other than the famous condition or the famous set in which a student studying and then tries to sneak into the kitchen and starts eating. But then a mother finds out that he's not studying and he's just eating and then argues with him. You're such a careless being. You just care for food. And then he stops like, yes, what's the problem with me being concerned with food? Actually, if humanity was not really concerned with food as much as I am, things would have been so much different. Actually, we wouldn't have built civilization because how did we build civilization? Because we made agriculture, which was a source of making our tummies in good conditions and safe there. We don't have to wait for a good hunt. We'd have the food right over there. This was one of the reasons we had agriculture. This was one of the reasons we have civilization. This was one of the reasons we have cities. Why? Also, famous argument by mothers, like, you should really study so that you can travel abroad, go to Europe, go to the US. Well, how was the US found? I mean, Columbus was going to India to bring spices for the Europeans. So, again, food. So apparently food is very, very important to making world history. And so, these pieces of information are not really used as a form of knowledge that we give out to the people, but are given instead through a child arguing with a mother. You can expect how the comments section was like. All people tagging their mothers and telling them, aha, that's why I eat while studying. And so, this is our set. We made over 130 episodes, counting to over, actually 120 million on YouTube, but another 100 million on Facebook, totaling to over 220 million views for a science show. That's really big. Our team became a lot much bigger, so we actually started, instead of doing one episode a week, we're starting to do it 2 episodes a week on AJ+. So, usually the videos we did were like 10 minutes or something, but then actually in January, we hit our 100th episode, and it was a 14-minute episode, and it has about 2 million views on YouTube. So I'd like to end it here, because this is what I find the experiment of the show El Dahih brings to light. So I'd end with a quote by Michael Stevens, who is also a very famous science YouTuber. He used to say, I teach people in a way that by the time they know they're learning, it's already too late. You don't have to be really very direct with the message you present to people. As much as possible, one needs to be subtle. And that's what we basically work on. Thank you.